Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's been a little while since I've been able to do a talk and check in about Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone with the update and everything that's been going on, and just give my thoughts about the game and how it's going. I've been absolutely loving everything that's been happening with Warzone at the moment. I've been having a lot of fun with the game. Before we get into all of the things that I'm currently thinking about and want to have a bit of a chat about today, these gameplays are a little bit, they're not my best games. They're still two decent high kill wins, however, it's just kind of a lot of deaths in between, so please do ignore a lot of the chopping and changing of the editing, just because I do die quite a few times in this gameplay. Anyway, getting into it, I've been absolutely loving the movement update that Raven Software and Sledgehammer Games have implemented in this game. It is so good now to have outplayability. It's so good to have fast movement speed, removing all of those really weird ADS sprint to fire penalties, as well as the jumping ADS penalty. The slide cancelling being back is so good. It just allows for so much more outplayability in different gunfights. It makes the game a lot of fun to play as well as watch, which I think is a massive improvement. And we've definitely been seeing that with a lot of streamers and content creators returning to the game, and also a lot of the videos on YouTube and Twitch streamers getting a lot more views just because it's a lot more fun to watch. There's actually gunfights now, The time to kill, I think, is still a little bit too quick at the moment. But I still think that there's lots of room to tinker around with the game still. I also feel like the movement speed in general is just absolute perfection, and I really love the way that the movement has just felt faster and more fluid as we've gone on throughout the game. With being able to sprint while plate is so nice, and it feels a lot faster even than Warzone 1. Having the stims back as well, as you can see right here, just gives a lot of outplayability, which is super nice. The weapon balance, I think, still needs work. Weapon balance is, it's always super hard for anyone to know how it's going to come out, especially with so many different weapons in the game now, with the Modern Warfare 2 weapons as well as MW3 weapons being available. I think the Swarm SMG definitely needs a massive nerf. I feel like it's the only SMG that people are using, and I think some of the assault rifles definitely need a buff because they just don't perform as well as they probably should in that medium range. So we'll have to see what happens. A lot of the weapons, though, are really nicely buffed. There's a lot of variety and a lot of options, and I would love to see some of the Modern Warfare 2 weapons even given a bit of a buff with some better recoil control and maybe a little bit less visual recoil to make them viable as well. It makes sense as well because this is still like a Modern Warfare game, so selling the bundles and all that kind of stuff, it makes sense. They're all still in the shop, so why not have some of those older guns still really good, especially for people that haven't played Modern Warfare 2 or didn't play Warzone 2 last year and they want to come back, and having like some of the older weapons be really good would be extremely fun, and also reward some of the players that have been around for a while. Some of the other things that I've been loving are the camos and the events. It's been so nice to have different weekly challenges, different camo events, different little things going on to reward players for being there each and every week. Having some of those things to grind for is also really great, seeing as the leveling system is, not the traditional prestige of like you just keep leveling and leveling and leveling, or having the old school system where you could get to 1,000 every single season. I kind of like that because it really did show, this person's been grinding it out, this person's been playing a lot, putting the hours in, or it's showing, this person's not playing that much, but they're still a good player, whatever it may be. So having the level cap, I'm not loving, but having different events every single week is a really nice way to kind of, balance that out. The performance of this game as well, I've got to give a massive credit to the team who are developing this, because I was pretty consistently getting like 120-ish frames on most of the maps last year during Modern Warfare 2. But obviously it was a much slower paced game, and I also wasn't really playing on like the highest settings. This year, though, I don't know what they've done, but this game feels buttery smooth. It is just such a smooth experience. Everything is just running so nicely. I haven't had many hitches and frame issues that I've had in the past, which I had so many issues with that last year, and finally it seems to have all resolved, which is really nice. However, experience from some buddies, that has not been the case on PC, so I think there's still a bit more optimization work to go into the game as well. But it's great to see that they're working on that, making sure that for every platform this game is out, it's really great and it runs really well. I think, there's lots of things still to work on though. The game is in a really great state. I think it's probably the best state that Warzone has ever been in. A lot of people, you know, they look at the glory days of Verdansk and they go, wow, the game was just so perfect back then. Everything was just amazing. But in actual fact, the game was fucked. Like, there was so many different things that they needed to work on, they needed to improve upon, and people just have that nostalgia goggles and you look back at it and go, wow, that was like the best time ever, which, you know, look, it was extremely fun, but I think now the quality of life of this game is probably the best that it's ever been, and now there's a few things they need to keep working on. The first one for me is the playlists. The playlists that they have weekly, whoever is in charge of the playlists just has literally no clue what is going on. And that is the most frustrating thing, because those people, you would imagine, have got the data to show what is actually happening. And I don't know who is playing Urzikstan, Resurgence, duos in one POI for a whole week. I don't know who's playing that, but it's certainly not the majority of the player base. And the fact that it goes on week in, week out, and it was a massive issue last year as well, with them taking away different modes and Resurgence things, it makes no sense. Just leave all playlists in there. Give everyone the opportunity to play what they want, play with the squad size that they want, the map that they want, all of those things. That is the priority for me. And I love the fact that they've got the rotating Resurgence. I think that's awesome. You know, you get Ashika and you get Vondel. Both of them I really like. I think Ashika is a heavily underrated map, and I'm going to do a video on that coming up. But I don't know why they've got the big map in this, taking away the Resurgence maps that have literally been designed for this exact purpose. It's great to see they've made big progress with normal BR, because having all squad sizes there is great. Last year there was like 6 weeks in a row where solos was just gone. Then there was a whole lot of time where trios was gone because they had ranked going on. So that to me is one of the biggest issues, and I see people complaining about that on Twitter and just in Discord and lots of different things weekly. So it seems like such an easy fix, and that's something that should be a massive priority. The other things that I want to see going forward, I'd really love if there was a statement to address the UAV bug that is still happening in Resurgence solos, and also all Resurgence modes, it seems. Basically what happens, and it's with the portable radar as well, if you don't know what I'm talking about, is when you get a kill, basically then when the player respawns back into the map, you get the ping of them coming back. And that's awesome. You know, it means that there's a reward for getting kills, and there's also a penalty for dying, but it takes priority over any other form of UAV. So unless you have an advanced UAV where you've popped 3 UAVs in a row, there is no way to avoid that, and it just means that you end up not knowing that there's someone right next to you, even though you've done the work to pop a UAV. Just because there's someone that's respawning across the other side of the map that you're being told about. And if you're stacking kills, like if you're getting a lot of kills in a row, which good players definitely do, then you can go, you know, a full UAV at a time without getting your actual pings close to you. And that was not an issue in Warzone 1. So something's gone wrong there that they need to fix. Would love to have that addressed at some point. It doesn't seem to even be on the Trello board, so who knows. Another thing that I want them to keep working on is definitely weapon balance. As I said before, the assault rifles definitely need a buff. Some of the SMGs need a buff. The Modern Warfare 2 weapons definitely need a buff, or just some rebalancing. I also feel like the snipers, as you just saw me get sniped there, the snipers are kind of pointless. And this is a big conjecture issue for a lot of people. Some people just don't love the one-shot snipers. I love one-shot snipers. I feel like there's got to be a penalty for being able to peek, especially with some of these low recoil options where you can just laser someone across the map with like the Pulamyot or the TAC Eradicator, or you know, some of the other options that have no recoil, the RAM for instance, or whatever it is. Having a one-shot sniper that's actually, you know, fast-paced, just like the Kar 98 used to be, you know, it would be amazing. Like you can see right here, as I climb up here, I'm going to pull out my LMG. This guy is just dead because of just how low recoil this is. He's far away. There's no option for him to peek. One-shot sniper makes you think about that. You know, so that would be really interesting to see them buff those just the way they were in Warzone 1, where some of the lightweight snipers can do some more damage. Overall, I just would love to see them continue on with the fantastic support that they've given this game. More camo events, more updates, more cool stuff going into the game. And then, of course, looking forward to Fortune's Keep and Rebirth Island being added back in. As a Resurgence-dominated player, I cannot wait to have the 4 maps in rotation. It's going to be so much fun. Looking forward to all of those things. What have you been thinking about Warzone, guys? Let me know. Have you been enjoying it as much as me? I've definitely been putting in the work to try and get better at this game every day. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like and subscribe.